Hey, this is Antonio. Welcome back to my channel, Who's Ready for Some Fighting Words. In this video, I want to do a fight breakdown and prediction for Alycia Baumgardner and Mikaela. As we all know, the fight is coming up. It's coming up really soon. And this is going to be on the card with Savannah Marshall and Clarissa Shields. So this is a very important card. And I don't know. I kind of feel like this fight is going to be the fight that probably might even maybe steal the night, to be honest with you. A lot of bad blood between these two. And you know how I do it? I just line both of the competitors up and I just run down some basic, simple questions. And whoever has more points in the end, that's our winner. So before I say any more, let's just jump on into it. We're going to start with experience. Now, this is tricky because experience in terms of the professional world, Mikaela has more fights. However, Alycia Baumgardner has like 165 amateur fights. She's been doing this for a very long time. She actually started at the age of 8, so like she's no slouch or anything like that. But just to be fair, I think we should just look at the professional fights. So Mikaela, I'm gonna go with her. She's just fought tougher opposition, period. And to be honest with you, when you look at who she's fought and you look at who Alycia Baumgardner has fought, you look at the two records, clearly Mikaela has fought the tougher opposition. So therefore, although Alycia has so many amateur fights, I'm going to say Mikaela because when you look at her record of individuals who she's matched up against and she's beaten, you don't see people with like horrible records. I mean, like a few of her people were undefeated. They might have had 5 or 6 wins, but they were still undefeated. While as you look at Baumgardner, she's had a lot of people with like horrible, crappy records, and that would just lead me to believe that they wanted to put this person on the fast track and a safe, easy travel to the pros and, the higher up in the boxing sport. Speed. This one's tough, but I'm also gonna go with Mikaela. I just feel like she's a tougher. She's tougher. She's a faster fighter. Her game is built a lot on speed because she's not a heavy-handed fighter, so she needs to be fast. She needs to pop off of those combinations, and she does that really quick. She's a rapid-fire puncher. So yeah, it's gonna be Mikaela all the way. Alycia Baumgardner does have speed, but she can't pop off a 5-punch combination the way Mikaela can. I'm sorry. So therefore, Mikaela for speed. Heart. So I haven't really seen Alycia Baumgardner in a situation. And again, if you look at her past fights, judging by their records, she wasn't going to have a situation coming up. Now, I'm not saying that this will not be that defining fight where she actually has a situation. She has to dig down deep and go into the depths of who she is to pull something out. I'm not saying that. But as of this moment, she has not had that. So therefore, I'm going with Mikaela primarily because of her fight with Jennifer Hun. And Hun was a 6-year champion. So I don't want to hear anybody's comments or anything on that. She was a champ for a long time. She held that title for a very long time. And it was a tough, grueling fight. Mikaela won. She beat her up. She closed her eyes up and everything. But it wasn't easy. She had to fight for it. She had to fight hard for it. And she got the victory. Power. Hands down, Alycia Baumgardner. That's what she's banking on. That's what Mikaela knows. This is going to be her bread and butter. If she's going to win this fight, it has to do with power. It's going to have to do with like a 1 punch or something like that. If she cannot land big punches or if she cannot land the big punch, then she could very well be out of luck. The speed of Mikaela the combinations of Mikaela it was even mentioned in their commentary back and forth. Baumgardner is saying, well, listen, you fight like an amateur. You fight like, you're fighting in a point system. Yeah, but if you don't knock her out, that's going to count. And it's going to count a lot because she's going to have a whole lot more points in the end than you. The advantages. What are the advantages? I would probably say for Mikaela it's the height, especially for her weight class and, just women in general. She is pretty tall. and that is an obstacle for most girls when they're fighting her. Alycia Baumgardner, you do not see a lot of women punching with that amount of power, or even dropping women with one punch. You don't see that every day in women's boxing. So clearly, that's an advantage when you have that much pop, in one punch, and you have heavy hands like that. That's an advantage. Arsenal. Okay, here we go. Alycia Baumgardner, as we all know, she has that right hand. She's kind of like a little mini female Deontay Wilder. But then you have Mikaela, who's got like every punch. Even though she's tall, she has no problem going straight to the body and staying there and, sustaining a strong, lasting body attack. Great jab, speed, footwork. They both have great footwork. I got to give it both a nod on that. They both have great footwork. Great footwork, actually. And then you look at Mikaela, on top of that footwork, she has that jab. On top of that footwork, she knows how to move her head. Now, when I look at defense, I don't feel like either one of them have great defense. I feel like Mikaela fights in a way that puts herself in harm's way. And I feel like because Alycia Baumgardner hits so hard, she feels like she needs to be in harm's way in order to get that heavy shot off. And I feel like both of those could be avoided, to be honest with you, because you can just set a trap and you can land a heavy hand. And with Mikaela, she can literally fight tall. She can literally fight on the back foot because she is that skilled where she can fight backing up. She does not have to put herself in harm's way. For some reason, she like I said, she's really tall and she has a really wide stance, and she likes to plant herself and, to get the most out of her punches. But because of her speed and her height, she does not have to do that. And I think that could be a downfall if she plants herself with Baumgardner, and she could find herself in a not so comfortable place, and she might really have to fight her way out of it, or find herself getting up off the canvas, which she doesn't want to be. And I hope that's something that they rectified and they fixed in the camp. Resume. Like I said, it was the better resume. Hands down, that really ties back into the experience. I have Mikaela. And again, you're beating champions. You're beating champions who held the title for 6 years. That says something in itself. That lets you know this is no pushover. That lady had a championship mentality. She was going to be no walk in the park, and she definitely wasn't going to be anybody's stepping stone. And Mikaela had to fight for it. So there you go, Mikaela again. Now, this was brought up between their commentary back and forth. Skill or athleticism? Now, that's a very good question. Which one would you take? Now, you had Mikaela saying, hey, I have skill. And you have Alycia Baumgardner saying, well, I have athleticism. Which one would I want? I guess, personally, I would take skill. Because it's a fight and you will get tired. You're going to get fatigued at some point. You are getting hit back and you are moving constantly. So you're going to get fatigued. Well, being fatigued, your skill's not going to leave you. Your skill's not going to leave you. Your athleticism will take a break. It will, time out, coach. I'm going to take a chill pill on this bench. So I would personally take skill over athleticism. Yeah, early on in the fight, athleticism is going to be a huge factor, and Mikaela is really going to have to climb a huge hurdle. But over the course of the fight, skill all day. Listen, skill is a tortoise. Like literally, and the rabbit is the athleticism. So yeah, early on in the fight, your first 5 rounds, yeah, there could be a slight lean toward Baumgardner. But if she cannot get the job done before, I'd probably say round 6, it's going to be a very uphill battle for Alycia Baumgardner, because Mikaela is no slouch, and she's only going to turn it up more and more and more. She understands that she doesn't have huge punching power, so she's not banking on that. She's banking on stamina. She's banking on cardio. She's banking on combinations. She's banking on points. That's what she's banking on. And if she can't get, if Baumgardner cannot get Mayer out of there by like round 6, it's trouble, and it's downhill trouble. Now, what could go wrong? I just mentioned it. If Baumgardner cannot get you out of there by a certain time, it's going to be trouble. And if Alycia not to say that's all she has is that one punch, but it has been her bread and butter. Now she claims that she has more, and I think this is the perfect fight for her to display a lot more. But I also don't think this is the fight to be cute and try new things. Listen, that right hand got you to the dance. Try it with somebody else, a lesser opponent, after you win, if you win. What could go wrong? Mare could plant herself and not be able to get out of the way. That could go wrong. That could go wrong. I'd probably say up until round 6, that could go wrong. She tends to do that. Mare has a very dog-like mentality. You hit me, I want to get my get back. Like right now. She doesn't think about the course of the fight. Like, hey, I got 7 rounds to go. No, I wanted this round. She got me this round. I want to get it back this round. That could be the wrong course of thinking. And it could not go well in your favor if you try that with Alycia Baumgardner. Another thing I would say is Baumgardner is very emotional. You know, if you look at the commentary between the two, Mikaela was running circles around her. You know, like... You know what I'm saying? She especially when they were in the UK and they were, you know, the guy was telling Alycia Baumgardner not to curse, and she kept cursing, and he's like, please, we are literally, you know, you cannot curse. And Mikaela is like, look, you can't even do that right, and you're gonna fight me? Like, she's running circles around her. So verbally, and you could see it getting to Alycia Baumgardner. Now, she takes that same mentality and she brings that into the ring and she's talking to her. You know, Alycia could just run into something, or she could listen, I hate it when boxers always say, well, I'm the heavy-handed one. Anybody can get knocked out. As we saw with Tank and Rolly, you don't have to throw the heaviest punch in the world. You could literally just get knocked out running into something. And Alycia Baumgardner, clearly not respecting Mikaela as a boxer in terms of power, she could find herself running into something. Not to mention, you take that scenario and you mix that with her emotions because she hates Mare so much, she could literally run into something. So that could go wrong for her. Overall, I have Mikaela win. I just feel like too much speed, accumulation of punches. If Baumgardner can't get her out of there like at round 5 or 6, I just don't see her winning. And that's not to say that she's not a great fighter. I just think Mikaela has a lot of tools. And I think she's really fast. I think she's very smart in the ring. And she has a complete array of punches that she knows when to throw those punches, as opposed to Baumgardner, who tends to get in fights, you know, and she forgets her boxing skills from time to time. And I think that could be a downfall because you're fighting somebody you already know she's not going in there to knock you out. So why are you trying to get into a fight? You don't need to get into a fight. You know, you need to set a trap. You need to cut off the ring. And she's not going to do that. She will press forward, but she's not going to cut off the ring. So overall, I just have Mikaela. Like I said, the height, that perfect jab, the arsenal, the speed. I have Mikaela. Unanimous decision. That's my take. You drop your comments down below. I'd love to hear what you have to say on the fight. And that's that. Please like, please share, please subscribe to my channel, and tell a friend.